Hello. So, I got married to myself on Saturday, and that was great. I like the length of my hair, but not the cut. So we're gonna observe right now that I have had long hair for a very long time, and I have now cut it very short. And I'm going to get a different haircut soon because I don't like this one. But I did want it short anyway. Point being is that I married myself on Saturday, and it was a great ceremony. We had a lot of fun. I had my vows that I wrote, and Robin performed the ceremony, and I had some of my friends, especially a couple of them that I haven't seen in a long time. It was really fun for them to come out and meet each other and just celebrate me. All right, give me 1 second. I will find that in just a moment. So I promised to love myself forever, and that means treating myself well. Maybe I could read my vows. Maybe I'll read my vows to you guys. Do I have them here? I don't have them up here. Maybe I'll read them to you tomorrow. But it was basically like, I sort of used them to say to everybody, like, look, I know this is me today, but we should all be saying this, we should all be committing like this to ourselves. So join me in committing yourself to yourself, that sort of thing. And I did a pretty good job with the vows. I was worried about it though, because as a writer, when special occasions come up, there's a lot of pressure to be really, really good. And I'm just like, so I knew what I wanted to say, but I didn't know how to say it. And it was literally a couple of hours before the wedding actually happened that I finished them. So let's get this and this over here. All right. But so I'm taking this seriously, right? I mean, because that's, for Christ's sake. I had a ceremony. I've got a ring. Would you like my ring? And I got lots of flowers, and I got presents. So I better be serious about this. But yeah, so it's been an interesting few days. Being married really does change everything. In the relationship. Seriously. It does. So let's see. So one of the things that I'm working on is giving myself grace. And I've got this kind of balance that's like, do I give myself grace and kind of like, not slack off, but do something? I mean, I know the answer to this, right? But like I don't do the thing that I should do for my health, right? Let's say I decided to eat something that I shouldn't, or that is difficult. But so then I gotta not hate myself for it. So I've got to be okay that I did it, but at the same time, I have to go for the other option. This is making an interesting thing in my brain that's kind of happening. What was I saying? Marriage, flowers, ring, friends. We had a sing-along at the end. We sang along with Whitney Houston, The Greatest Love of All. We all were singing it. Maybe not all of us at the top of our lungs, but, the top of our tongues. I don't know. But yeah, we had it. It was good. That was good. So this new experiment with me being married to, not my experiment, this new reality where I am married to myself, and again, I'll get my vows and I'll read them to you guys tomorrow or something. And this is where I keep distracting myself. Self-love, marrying myself. I don't know. It'll come back. Let's give it a second. Let's just give it a second, okay? Just give it a second. What? Oh, so my relationship with myself. So I'm giving myself grace for not, like, here's the balance, right? Here's the question for me. Like, on the one hand, I could do something that I know that's not good for me, and my normal option, if and when I do that, is to kind of go on like a, maybe not complete self-loathing spree, but certainly like make some seriously snide comments to myself in my head, right? Like, let's just be honest about that. So like when those, now that I'm not doing that to myself anymore. See, this is an interesting thing. Now that I'm not shaming myself and cajoling myself and like whatever, I don't understand the difference between, like, okay, so if I'm not feeling horrible about this, why would I do anything about it? It's like, wait a second. So I'm a little, I don't think I'm being quite clear on what I mean, but it's an interesting little dilemma. Yeah, because I'm sitting, like, for instance, I'm sitting there, like, and I watched some Marvel Universe today at night to relax. And I was thinking in my head, like, I really shouldn't be doing this. I should be getting up. I should be working. I should blah, 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 blah. Whatever the case may be. Haranguing myself a little bit in my head. And then I'm like, wait a second. No, I'm not doing that to myself anymore. So now I'm watching the show, and I still know that I should probably turn it off. But I'm giving myself grace, and I'm not turning it off. So I'm not actually doing what's best for myself. Okay, here it comes, right? So it's not just about not like whipping yourself, not being like in pain. It's not about the avoidance of pain, although that is part of it. But I distract myself too much too often, guys. It'll come back around. It will. I was going to make a deep and profound comment there. Look at this. This is terrible. I hate it. I don't hate it. Hating is a strong word, but like, I mean, like, look, really? Really? I paid for this? Yeah. Anyway. Loving self, relationship with self, figuring out, okay, yeah, so it's not just about not, like, okay, if I don't hate myself, that means I'm just gonna be, like, content with life and like, let myself decline, basically. It's like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of where my head starts to go, but it's like, wait a second, no, it's not just about that. It's about actually doing the proactive choosing the healthy thing. Right? So it's not just like, okay, well, I won't make myself feel bad about watching the TV. Okay, this is sounding very obvious as it's coming out of my mouth, but just bear with me here. So ideally, the choice when I realize, like, okay, I'm doing something that is not healthy for me, whether it's eating, which is usually is, or like not not getting up and walking around because I spent all my whole day in the front of the computer, or just like eating too much, or just eating too much. Yeah, it's a thing. But instead of just not allowing myself to do that and not beat myself up for it, right? But the ideal there is to choose the healthy thing, not beat yourself up, but choose the healthy thing. And those are two separate things. Those are two separate things. And I am, one of the things I was noticing today when I was giving myself grace, I was like, oh, I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to beat myself up anymore. I'm not allowed to, not allowed, but you know what I mean? Like, and then it kind of occurred to me, oh no, I'm gonna forget. What was it? One day, is my leg swollen? I don't know. What was I just saying, guys? What was I just saying? Self-love, relationship with yourself, balance between the two things, not being, so choosing the healthy thing, not being two things, as opposed to not, so like, I've been allowing myself a lot today, grace-wise, but I've been doing things that like I know that aren't great for me, and I think part of it is me testing the boundaries for myself. Like, if I do this, what are you gonna say? And then, like, right now my mind's just like, well, I love you anyway. Like, so I think I'm kind of seeing right now, I'm doing this weird rebellious kid thing where I'm seeing how much I can get away with before I start kicking myself in the ass for it, or before there's a serious consequence, right? Which is that I start off with the I mean, we all have that right there, right? We all have that critic in our head, but yeah, it's choosing not to listen to them can be hard sometimes because they kind of know where your weak spots are. And yeah. Oh, God, I wish I could, like, it's late, I'm tired, and I cannot keep more than one thought in my head at a time. Sorry, I'm just going back there. If you didn't realize this is what I'm doing, I go back through the steps of the conversation to figure out where we were. Okay, so relationship with yourself, not a good thing, but get a good thing, do a good thing for yourself. I'm testing my boundaries. So yeah, I'm being like a not bratty little kid, but like a kid who really, I mean, yeah, see, and this is good, right? I'm having compassion. Normally, maybe I would say bratty, but like, this kid is she wants to be loved, and she doesn't believe that it's actually gonna happen. So she's oh, you're like testing me. I'm testing me to see how far I'll go with the self-love, or at least the refraining from beating myself up. So, and then, I realized that, and I'm okay with that too. Here's the thing, you gotta be okay with it all. And that's something I'm working on. Like, okay, like today, something happened. I was talking on a phone. Like, this is sort of a different topic, but I was talking on the phone to somebody, and there was a moment of like I'm not someone who gets angry a lot, you know what I mean? Like, sure, I get angry, and like I usually don't show it that much. I sublimate it, and then, or I, transform it, but transmutate, something like that. But like, it was really hard for me not to like. I was upset because someone was talking about this guy who's a part of our group now is talking to my business partner about our business, and like they're making decisions about it without me involved, and that's like it really fucking sucks. It sucks. And then he said like something along the lines of, oh, we'll do it this way so that, you can stay in the group and you can stay in the company. I'm like, sorry, new guy, what was that? Sorry. That was not the nicest thing to say. Sorry. But I'm feeling very defensive about it, really, is what it is. And, so yeah, I apologize for what, look at that. Why? So I apologize for anything mean that I've said. I'm working on that. I don't like that. I don't like saying things when I don't have control over what I'm saying. It's just better to keep your mouth closed at that point. And very rarely, there are times when I can't keep my mouth closed. And this was one of those times. You know what I mean? Like, usually I'm like, take a step back, survey the room. It takes me like days and days to process. But this particular instant, I was having some problems with it. And I was trying not to sound irritated and bothered, but I mean, come on. This is me we're talking about. So yeah, hiding the emotion thing isn't my strong suit. So I was trying to be, and I could hear him on the other line. He's like, "You sound offensive." I'm like, you think? Sorry. But I don't know. It's just like I wouldn't tell him what to do with his business. I wouldn't meet with him with Gwalder about it and decide what his business is like. Like, it's not. I wouldn't do that. So yeah, I don't like that. Anyway, my mind started talking to me a lot about it. That was the whole point of me getting onto this. Not to complain. The point is, my mind had a lot to say about it. There was a lot of things happening in my brain after that during that conversation and after that conversation. And it was really easy to get caught up in them. But, I was able, I think in a different way, or maybe I don't know, a different context. Yeah, a different context. I was able to kind of look at my thoughts from a more objective perspective, and just feel the feelings that were going along with those thoughts, and they were not comfortable feelings. I did not like them, and I wanted to do something about them, but I didn't. Okay, maybe I sent a text to Walter, so that maybe, I don't know, I don't know. I didn't mean it to come across as angry, but it probably kind of did. Oops. Anyway. So yeah, I was, listening to my thoughts about this, and they were getting ahead of themselves, let's just say. And feeling those feelings, and they were so uncomfortable, but this, for some reason, it's because I listen to Michael Singer all the time, and I'm praying and meditating. One of the things I vowed to myself was to pray and meditate every night and morning. And I've been doing it so far. And that's the repetition of that gets in my head the things that how I want to live my life. And that, how much I want to be grateful for things, and how much I need to surrender, and the qualities that I want to engender, and the emotions that I want to let go. So doing that keeps it in your head, and then listening to Michael Singer does it as well. But I was able to kind of step back, and I was just thinking, I was just watching that, and watching me notice that I was noticing that. Yeah. I know that I am, right? I know. I know. I like that one. Sorry, it's just like brain fumbling. So Wednesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I lost it again, guys. I'm sure it's very, very boring watching me like just stop and think like what was I just thinking about? I was on a train and then it got derailed. My wedding. I got my hair cut. Not a huge fan, but whatever, we discussed that already, this video. I had a flower crown. It was beautiful. I had a beautiful bouquet, and I had my two bridesmaids had wrist corsages, and Robin, who was officiating, had a little boutonniere. And I don't know, it was I made a big deal. I mean, it would have been it's good. No, it's good because that was my wedding, and that's great. That's wonderful. I was just about to say, like, if I had, if I could have had a little bit more time, or if, I'd been able to put a little more money aside and been able to do a little bit more. But then it's like, screw that. Like, my wedding was awesome, and that was my wedding, so that is what I will cherish. I felt a little silly, to be honest with you. I felt, I was taught, it's just my friends, really, and all of them were incredibly supportive, incredibly supportive. They thought it was such a great idea. They think it's fantastic, and it's just part of it. I get really, okay, you guys, I say things and I do things on these cameras, and I don't get embarrassed about it. There are some things I get embarrassed about. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not like everything's off limits, or everything's game. But yeah, there are things that I feel embarrassed about, and one of them is professing my love to myself in front of a bunch of people. Right? It feels wrong. It feels wrong, and that's because I was raised in such a way, and most of us were, especially, in the older generations like Gen X. Oh God, Gen X. We're the forgotten generation. They went straight from the boomers to millennials, and it's like, hey, what about us? We did some pretty cool shit. We were the transition. Anyway. I just totally, wow, that's something I need to let go of. Like, that's just useless. That is a useless thing for me to be, annoyed about. So I was listening to my wedding. Which one was I talking about? The wedding. So yeah, I felt a little uncomfortable with doing that. And we had like I said, we had a sing-along, The Greatest Love It All, at the end. And, it was a lot of fun, and my friends, everybody was so supportive, but I still, in my head, I was judging myself, and I've been doing that the whole time, really. On the one hand, I think it's hilarious. I'm like, oh, bridesmaids, that's hilarious, it's so funny. I'll sign a marriage contract, that's really hilarious, it's so funny. And it's like, it's not, it is, but it's also, it's obviously a much deeper thing than that. And when you're that vulnerable, that's hard. And that's it's easier for me to do it in front of a camera, to be quite honest, because there's no one around. It's just me looking at me, and I love looking at me. But when I'm around people and I can see reactions, then it feels a little different, to be quite honest with you. So I don't know. It was kind of a cold day out, a bit nippy. Everybody was dressed up, and I have cool friends. I have really cool friends, Like, I have really cool friends. Like, I love my friends. They're great. They're really great. Sorry, I get these spikes. Like, just what just happened right then was like a random thought in my head came into my head. Like, oh, I gotta text these 2 people back, or they're gonna think that I don't like them. You know what I mean? And like that just caused like my stress, my anxiety level just went up, and it's like, you know. I mean, I don't know if anybody else gets like that, but I'm pretty sure they do, to some degree or another. Anyway. Loving myself. Oh, so I was hearing the thoughts, and it was really interesting to watch them and watch the emotions that were stirred up by that. And then of course I heard myself also saying, wow, my mind has something to say about that. Interesting. And it was a little bit easier than being in the thick of it, but it was also a very weird feeling. Like, it was like, I'm still very uncomfortable. I'm still very uncomfortable, but I'm really noticing how uncomfortable I am. And that doesn't feel great. But that's fine too. Anyway, I think it was a really good thing. I'm really tired, it's late, and I'm gonna stop talking now. But I hope that you guys, you know, you're out there and you are committing yourself to loving yourself. And because my vows, they were pretty good, I have to say. What was I gonna say? It was in my vows. I was gonna mention something, but yeah, it's just think about how, yeah, we're divine beings. We're divine beings. Like, seriously, guys, we are made up of the universe, and the universe is pretty freaking cool. So who am I to say to not like me or to hurt me? You know what I mean? Like, who am I to do that? That's really being audacious, right? Like, that's like arrogant as fuck. Like, come on, man. Like, really. Anyway, so those are the updates I wanted to give you. And that's about it. I am really grateful that you guys are out there. I'm grateful for anybody that I can help. My ring's so pretty. I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to deal with a bad haircut the day of my wedding to myself. That was a fun opportunity. But really, like, okay. Another time. That'll be another time, because it's freaking late now and I'm tired. So, yes. Gratitude. Let's always remember to be grateful, because we are part of the universe, and we are divine, and we are the universe made conscious and aware of itself, which is nut jobs, right? Like, that's crazy. Like, we are the universe conscious of itself. So just think about how awesome that is anytime that you dislike yourself, or hear those voices in your head telling you that you're not enough, or that the way you are isn't good enough. Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm grateful for you guys, grateful for the opportunities that every challenge in life affords me to grow. You know, always using it, well, not always, it's not like I'm perfect, but as much as possible using it for the evolution of my soul. And I think I took a bit of a leap today with thinking, being more aware of my feelings and thoughts and feelings. So that's it. Grateful for you. I hope that means that you can also always remember to have a grateful day. You can choose. That's right. Wow, I forgot the tagline, guys. You can always choose to have a grateful night.